Alright guys, so I'm starting with the new build. I got some stuff to show you, and I'm excited for this one, so let me tell you a little about it. So with this new build, it's me, Mikey, and my dad are a little excited about, because as you know, we were at the Autorama past year, or in this year, and we brought the truck, and as you guys saw in older videos, we ended up meeting up with Farmtruck and Azn, and they actually suggested that we build Farmtruck. So me being me, I said, okay, I will. And so here it is. We're going to build Farmtruck. It's a different type of build for us, because usually with our own ideas, we could do whatever, and it could kind of, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. With this one, it's going to be a little different, because we're going to have to try to match it as best as we can. So so I got like a bunch of parts. Like I got mirrors, I got a rag for the gas tank. These are literally the first thing I bought for the build, and then I just started to collect parts. So I got like pillow blocks, I got chain, pedals, sprockets, I got, you know, the important stuff. And then I figured you can't build Farmtruck without having a big horsepower engine. So I bought this. It's the Predator 459, which has 15.8, so a little less than 16 horsepower, and it's pumping out, I believe, yeah, 24.5 foot-pounds of torque. So I figured if this doesn't move it, nothing will. Alright, so, and as you see under the engine, we got a frame, and this frame I actually got from a guy I met at a car show, who also has a YouTube channel, so I'll put his YouTube channel in my description below. And as you see, like, there's no pedals, no steering. He was actually going to use this for a TV show with, I believe, Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was going to be a couch, that's why it's so long. So when we told him what I was going to do, he said, well, I got a perfect frame for you. Gave us the frame, so make sure to check him out. And if you guys don't know or don't follow Farmtruck and Azn, I'll leave their information down in my description below, because they make some cool videos and pretty funny guys. So I definitely recommend checking them out. So now we got to get started on the fun part, which is trying to make this Farmtruck. Alright guys, so it's raining right now, but I wanted to show you what I've done so far on the Farmtruck, and it feels like it's slowing down, so I don't have to rush it. So as you see here, I got this picture of a Farmtruck, and I got the wheels cut out, and what I did was I sat back further, held the picture up to match the tire size with like the front, and then what I did was, well, I had my dad do it, so then I would stand here, and then I'd put my hand down, and he'd say, or like I'd hold the tire, and he goes, all right, bring it up. I'd bring the tire up until he said right there. So then we got where the axle would be. And then I would move my hand until he says, all right, stop. And then like, so right here is where the cab, the back of the cab and the front of the bed will be. And then we did that for the fender and the cab also. So I'm going to try to show you how we kind of did it with film. So I sat down, leaned back, and as you see now I got the picture. You kind of match it up with the tire, and then we're like, okay, so as you see the tires are about the same size. We held it there, and then we would point out to where, okay, right here is going to be this, where it's going to be this. But so we did that to make it the same size or look proportionate, because with us having to do a replica, pretty much, we don't, well, we don't measure stuff usually, so we just do it by eye. And so as you see, I got it marked where it would have to be. So now our next step is to cut these off, because I got a live axle that I'm going to put on. So I'm going to cut this off, bolt the axle on, figure out where I'm going to put the massive engine, and then so I figured we get the back half done before we work on the steering, because as of right now all we got for steering is this. So I'm going to have to figure out if we use this or figure a different way to make the steering work. So I'm hoping that we could just use this and make something work, but as of right now we're just trying to get the frame done and get it drivable as the frame before we start with the body work. Alright guys, so I'm working on the go-kart a little more. It's a little darker out and I didn't get to do much because it did rain today, and since it's later out I'm just gonna do the axle for now. I got the pillow box bolted on, axle in. I got the engine here and kinda where it's gonna be, so I could kinda line this up, the sprocket, so we could now when we put the engine on we gotta kinda line it up to the sprocket, but if anything we'd still move the sprocket. And I need to get I want to get this done before sometime in September, and that's what because Farmtruck and Azn, they are actually doing a it's called Street Outlaws No Prep, and they'll be in Norwalk I think sometime in September. I'll have to recheck because I went online and I saw it, so I'm thinking Norwalk is a couple minutes from my house, and I figured what better way to say hello and stuff like that than with Farmtruck itself. So I'm going to try to get Farmtruck, the go-kart, I'll call it Farm Cart. So if I could get Farm Cart done before they have that thing, I'll probably try to contact them and be like, hey, I got the mini farm truck done, I'd like to show you it, and work something out with them. So I got the axle and the sprocket on and everything is looking good. Now tomorrow I'll make a engine mount for the engine and get the engine bolted on, and so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I got the axle on, I got the sprocket on, the tires, and the brake. I just did the engine mount and the mount for the disc brake here, and I just used some thick metal for the engine mount and the brake mount, and I got it lined up to where I want it, and all you got to do is pull up on this for the brake. And so now my next step is, since back here is pretty much done minus putting the engine on and the chain, I'm going to come up here and try to figure out a steering system, which I think I already did. I think what I'm going to do is, I was looking at the truck, and as you see, well, here, this bar here goes down into this, and then there's a bar that comes up, and then the steering is on this piece here. So this bar is on the steering column, and it has a bar coming out onto this, so when you turn, this pushes that. So I'm thinking about doing that onto this. So I got this piece, I'm thinking, because this is already hooked to the tires, so I'm thinking to have something come up and then have something to a bar, which I have this bar, so I'm gonna have to make stuff to hold it up, but then when you turn it'll be connected. I'm still trying to figure something out with it, but I think I'll probably just go that route because it seems the easiest. So I'm going to do that, and then hopefully the pedals next. the steering, what I did was I got some threaded rod because it was pretty cheap, and I put it from each end, from one side to another, and then I got another piece to come up here to this, so that now when you turn, it'll turn the tires. Added the brake and gas pedal, added the steering rod. We actually got the steering wheel right here. It's actually out of our buddy Jacob's Chevy truck. He ended up getting a new steering wheel, and he donated this to Delashment Road so we could use it for this farm truck build. I'm hooking up the throttle now because I did get the engine and the chain on, and so the engine's on there. We got the chain on, so all I have to do now is add a steering wheel and hook up the throttle, add some gas and oil into the engine, break that in, and then we could go for a test ride. So I'll get to you once all of that's done. Alright guys, pulled the farm truck out and gonna put it on its first test drive. Gonna go easy on it, try to test out the brakes, test everything out, and then I'll give you a update on after I do a test drive. Alright guys, so there it was, the test drive. There are some things that we're going to have to address. First thing being the steering rod. The shorter one here is all bent now. It doesn't like turning right, no, left. If I turn left, it bends. The front tires, I just realized, don't have bearings in them, so they're very sloppy and it's kind of dangerous. Steering wheel's good. I fixed that. I tightened that up. So once I get like the front end, all I'm going to need is new steering wheel, or new wheels with bearings in it, and new steering rods, like thicker ones, and I think we'll be fine. Chain was good. Back tires were good. I think I have to add some Loctite to like the bolts and stuff. But the thing we are having an issue with is the brake. It just slows it down, and this is a hefty engine, so I don't want it to just slow it down. So we're going to come up with something for the brake, but other than that, everything seems fine. It rides smooth, so
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Hope you enjoyed your cruise down to Lashment Road.